Nurse.
Yes.
Beta.
It used to be a time that fairy tales were true. The king and the queen and all the pills were blue. But then the pill changed, the red pill's the truth. Forget the married life, I got better things to do. Stack money.
Welcome back to the Anthony Spade channel. Before we get started, go ahead and hit that like button, that subscribe button, and that notifications button so you can get the videos as soon as I put them out, which are typically around 9:30 a.m. Eastern time. Lately, it's been late because YouTube's been moving slow. Next, I would not be talking about all women, even though it feels like it. And if it feels like I'm talking about you, you need to check yourself because I'm only talking about bad women that do bad things to good guys. If you're looking for the music to the intro and you want the link to the second channel, both are below in the description. All right, guys, today I'm going to be talking about why it's important for a man to have boundaries whenever it comes to women. Not just women, but men as well. And the reason why I'm talking about this is because this is one of the most important aspects of life. Not just with women, it's with everybody, but we're mainly going to be talking about women. Boundaries are going to be the thing that determines your alphaness, and it's going to be determine your respect. At the same time, it's going to be able to protect your heart in the long run from drama and pretty much silly things that happen in life when you put your trust in someone else. So, with no further ado, let's get started. First, when you set boundaries to a woman, it makes you the dominant one at the beginning of the relationship. You have to realize, you have to set the boundaries at the beginning. When you guys are sitting around talking, you don't sit down and name your boundaries. You always wait for her to do something or say something that goes out of boundaries, and then you correct her why you did not like that and why you're not going to accept that from her. All right, you don't have to say, hey, I'm not going to accept that for her. Just say, yo, listen, that's stuff that I don't like, and believe it or not, if I don't like it, I'm going to leave. That's simple. You guys are afraid to tell a woman that if she does something wrong, you're going to leave because you just think about all the guys that want her the same way that you wanted her, and you feel like you was chosen because there's a lot of guys that wanted her, so you feel like you gotta act good. Like, let me just be good. Let me not scream at her. Let me not give her any boundaries. Let me not do this because I don't know when the next time I'm gonna have a girl that like me. Well, let me let you know this. A woman actually is sitting around waiting for the guy that's going to give her boundaries, and that's going to be the guy that she's actually going to respect. So when you first come across a woman, women like to be free. They like to talk as if like, oh, you should be happy to be on a date with me. You should be happy I'm here. You have to understand it doesn't work the same way around for a woman as it does for a man. A man can't choose who he has sex with. A woman has to allow that. But a woman can have sex with a guy all day because she controls the sex. So when you see a woman telling you or acting like she has all these guys that want her, just think about it. All these guys just want to sleep with you. Most of the guys that want you, they don't have a job. They don't have anything going on with their life. They're sitting at home bored. A man who has a job, a man who's out here making moves, and a man who's out here doing things ain't got time to smother a woman. So you must be able to tell her your value into why you're laying down your boundaries for what she did, because you realize your value as well. The worst thing that you could do is be out with a woman simping, trying to prove to her that you some type of good guy, and for her to feel good, all she gonna do is act even more snobbier. But when you lay down them boundaries, that's gonna establish your dominancy, but it's also gonna let her know how far she can go in the relationship before things start to become confrontational. Don't be afraid to become confrontational with a woman, because a woman would spark controversy just to test your alpha. Next, laying down boundaries allows her to choose her friends in the relationship. What do I mean by that? See, when you tell a woman the type of woman you don't want, you have to do this subconsciously. You have to be able to look at the woman, right, and analyze what type of woman she should be. And then you subconsciously tell her, like, hey, I don't like a woman that do this. I don't like a woman that do that. I don't like this, if y'all are talking about it. But you're going to name everything about her that you know you don't like already. And she'll start to sit there and think like, all right, he thinks I'm some type of girl. That's what you got to do. You got to lay the boundaries as to what type of girl that you don't like, but you're talking about her. But you got to talk to her as if she's different. Like, that's why I'm glad I'm talking to you, because you different from all them other girls. I can see you don't go out and get drunk, hang out with your friends and do all this kind of crazy stuff and be combative on the phone. That's why I fucks with you. You know what I'm saying? You got to be able to talk like that. You got to be able to tell her, you're probably not one of those girls that do this, because if I had a girl that do that, I'm going to cut her off immediately because I don't want to deal with that. That's what you guys don't do. Women nowadays, when it comes to men, they're just running around free. Every girl is running around free thinking that she can get away with everything when it comes to a man, but she can't get away with a lot of stuff when it comes to another woman. Understand that. When it comes to another woman, a woman is going to have a boundary to how far they're going to allow their friend to screw them over, or how much they're going to let this girl get away with before she says, that girl is getting on my nerves. I don't want to be around her no more because she acts like this. But when it comes to you guys will go hang around the biggest whores in the world and start treating them with respect because you want them to like you. It's like, why do you want the biggest whores in the world to like you? Why do you think the feminine energy completes you? A lot of you go ride around with your cousins. You go ride around with your aunties. You the only guy. And you think when you get out, all the guys are jealous of you. All the guys ain't jealous of you, bro. You just a sucker dude that got pulled in to a crowd of women that are running wild. If you look at a group of single women, at some point, they're going to end up fighting each other. And the reason why they end up fighting each other and keeping the drama going on amongst each other is because they're running free. They don't have boundaries. But if you take that woman that's married and she got a good husband and she has a good family and there's been boundaries placed in the relationship, she's going to stop hanging around those type of girls because she don't want her husband or her man to think anything. But the other girls will look at it like, he's trying to control you, girl. He's trying to do this, girl. He's trying to do that, girl. Guess what? If you have a woman that talks like this, like that man's trying to control you, that man's trying to do this, that's a woman who doesn't have any boundaries in her life and haven't had any boundaries in her life in a very long time. The worst thing that you could be is a woman who's never had boundaries. That's why, like, if you date a lot of these pretty girls that grew up pretty their whole life and even their dad spoiled them because they're pretty, they are the worst individuals in the world. A suburban chick that grew up with her parents just giving her anything is the biggest headache of your life, because she has the money to make herself look good. She knows how to look presentable, but guys find themselves chasing her, not realizing like, this girl is nothing but a bill. Every girl that's running around free with no boundaries and no father in their life that have gave them boundaries are all whores. And they're all running around wild, crazy, argumentative, getting away with everything, running around loose because nobody wants to check them because they want to have sex with them. Women are aware that you want to have sex with them, but when you set boundaries, you're telling her, I don't want to have sex with you until you can stay within these guidelines. Girls know with me, you start doing hood rat stuff, you start talking stupid, you start talking like you ghetto, or you start talking like you're a feminist, it's a wrap. It's a wrap to me. I know my value as a man. I'm out here getting it. I know how qualified I am. I know how artistic I am. But when they know their boundaries, they're going to act completely different. You know what I'm saying? You got to be able to check them. That's what pretty much boundaries are, is that you're checking them for the faults that you don't like. Hopefully you guys are able to get the message behind the video here. All right? And understand that it's not just women you want to give boundaries to. You also want to give boundaries to men that come into your life as well, pretending to be some type of friend. Without boundaries, people are going to always use you. They're going to always abuse you. They're going to always take advantage of you, and that's what you don't want to do. This is Anthony Spade. Hopefully you guys got the message behind the video. Comment, like, subscribe to both of my channels. Hasta la vista.